Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another quick view. Welcome back to a quick view of a tire that no one is going to watch. So if you're here, thank you so very much. The GMade train keeps rumbling on. The 1903. If I don't think I'm wrong, I think this is the last one. We end in the middle. We've tested the GMade 1901, 1902, 1904, and 1905. This is the 1903. It is clearly a swamper, inspired by a swamper. GMade has shown some, and I guess the most democratic way to state it is inability to make a functional tire. They can make a tire that looks pretty okay. Now that's not all-encompassing, okay? The 22 Bighorn was not terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. The 1904 is, for all intents and purposes, an absolutely fine tire. I put it very close to a canyon trail. The 1904 is GMade's canyon trail. The 1905 is just an actually good tire. Like, better than most, I missed a little spot. Better than, like, most Vanquish offerings, because Vanquish's compound swings back around and bites him in the tuchus, being too soft, not having enough sidewall support, etc. The 1901 and the 1902 are terrible. Abjectly terrible, and terrible in increasing degrees. The one that is worked out of sequence. This is why we're still here. This is why we're still here. It's not just an OCD adjacent, relentless adherence to completionism. You have to get all the trophies on that PlayStation game, even though you're not enjoying the game very much. That's where we are with GMade tires. The 1905 is better than the 1904. But instead of the 1902 being better than the 1901, it was worse. It was a good bit worse. So this is kind of the, I don't know, this is the tiebreaker. This is the tiebreaker. The 1904 and the 1905 are good. The 1901 and the 1902 are very bad. What holds in store for us with the 1903? It's a swamper. It's a really side-luggy swamper. There's a lot going on out there. I don't know. I do know that it is stated on the sidewall, made in Korea. 109 by 40. We haven't seen any more than off by a millimeter or two. We're being very consistent in these, I think. 108. Big side luggy, 43. So 1 millimeter shorter than stated, but 3 millimeters wider than stated, and I'm not upset about that. I will take a 43 over a 40. So it is a proper class 1. That means the Lord steps in. Much like his brother, Baseline, he can make most any tire look good. Little ugga-duggas to get that on there. The carcass of this feels thick, particularly relative to a Class 2. In many instances, I feel like when a manufacturer, and I think GMade is as guilty of this as any, when they make a tire, like say there's a Class 2 version of the 1903. I don't believe there is, but let's say that there is. So there's a 4.75 version of this. It's almost as if they started with the big one and they scaled down to the small one, and it maintains, like, I've made up the word carcassal, of or relating to the carcass. The carcassal thickness of the Class 1, and Jora does this as well, is the same or very nearly the same as the thickness of the Class 2. So this makes the tire really, really firm because you have a lot less sidewall. These are 108 millimeters tall instead of 118 or 120 millimeters tall. So that's 5 millimeters of sidewall all the way around. I was going to say on either side, but it's like a circle, right? So this just makes it behave much more rigid. So I don't know. Oh, we can do this. I detect just just an inkling of a hint of the Starsky, a little bit of, but not a lot, and that's better. That's better than bad. But the determination as to whether or not it is good goes down to the rocks. So, Mr. Ever Increasing Patina and I, the Lord, we head out to the rocks to find out. Does this is the determiner, right? Can GMade make a decent tire? 1905 good, 1904 pretty good, 1901 terrible, 1902 super terrible. The discard is the Bighorn because I think it's a monster truck tire, and then they were just like, oh yeah, you can put this on a crawler. So also scored in like the 91s. The heaviest weight is on the shoulders of the GMade MT-1903. Let us get our things together and find out what is what. MT-1903, let's go! Ordinarily, this is where I would sit down upon bucket chair and I would tell you the feelings from the drive back. I have no notes. I saw a squirrel. A gray squirrel, not a ground squirrel. I hate ground squirrels. If you give it a bushy tail, it's immediately okay. Also, this is the desert. We don't live in a place where gray squirrels are coming. We have one gray squirrel. I don't know how he got here. He lives in the yard. We think, is he still here? Did he leave? He just ran up the tree right over here. Right over, out of frame left. There's a squirrel in the tree. And he's a little guy. One little guy. So, in terms of drive, we're going to find out fairly quickly. Yeah. What we've got. Oh, come on. Come on. Here's the thing about the GMade, whatever GMade's compound is. I don't remember seeing in any technical document of any kind them stating like, oh, this is such and such. Like, I don't think the compounds have names. Whatever it is okay. It is slightly, ever so slightly above like an Amazon quality. Like we'll mix some things together, throw it in a mold. It's slightly above that, but it's slightly below. Like, does the thing. We get to right there. We're not mechanically. Did you see it slip? Did you see the slip slide? There's a spot, right? I love that there is still rubber. Like when we did the 1901 and the 1902, I don't know how well the camera shows it, but right there. See the little blackish? That is still rubber from the earlier 1900s. Okay, that's a little axle. We get it over. This is the easiest cut right here. And it still won't take it. It doesn't appear to compromise steering too much. Oh, this might be the, and I mean this as an analogy. This is going to be the worst GMade yet. Yeah, it kind of already is. And let me illuminate that a little bit. The 1902 is the worst, categorically. It's bad at everything. And I mean bad to the point of being willful. Bad to the point of we begin to question the intentions of the manufacturer. How could the 1902 be so bad when all they set out presumably to do was make a tire? Yeah, it's round, and it's black rubber, and it's shaped like a tire. But how does the phrase go? If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Well, to translate that into GMade, if it walks like a tire and talks like a tire, it probably isn't. So, get it? Get it? So the 1903 is just almost there. That's the worst. The worst is the actual worst. The 1902 cannot climb a rock. It might as well be a drift tire. The 1903 is not good at any of this, but it can almost do it. And that, oh, the lukewarm. We don't want the lukewarm. We want the scorching hot, or we want the scaldingly terrible. It's gonna, see, it'll pull this right here. Actually kind of walked that a little. So we are gonna have massive score differential between highest score and lowest score. And that is never an indicator of a solid tire. Right, okay, so right through that first part, absolutely solid. I'm gonna give it one more quick one. Responds to, no, wide shuttle. Okay. Is it being exhibited? Are you picking up what I'm putting down about, like, it's almost a tire? This almost walks like a duck, but there's something where you go, is this AI generated? Is this someone's Are GMade tires AI generated? Like the learning engine hasn't learned enough about what a tire is, so this is the best they can do? Oh my God, are we seeing? So now, okay, follow along with me down a rabbit hole of random and partially tongue-in-cheek theorization. Let us look at the GMade 1900 series as outputs from the predictive outputs from a learning engine, right? An AI. They fed the AI a bunch of information about toy car tires. Not an overwhelming, not a surplus of information, just a bunch of information. And the machine spit out the 1901. And they were like, this is almost a tire, but not quite. So they changed the data set, and sometimes the data set doesn't work. So it spit out the 1902, which is the worst one. So they updated the data set again. It learned. So now the engine knows the 1901 and the 1902. And they gave it the instructions again. They were like, okay, try again. And it generated the 1903. And this one, we're going to try to use some slide to actually get onto the side hill, if we can do it sideways. They gave it some more information, and it made the 1903. And the 1903 is very nearly a tire. And they were like, oh, we've almost done it. Feed it the info again, and it made the 1904. And they were like, oh, it's gotten better. Like, this is a tire. Do we risk programming it again? What we're getting to here, in a theoretical fashion, is if and when a GMade 1906 occurs, it'll be the best one. Because the engine will have learned what makes a tire a tire. In terms of straight, forward operative grip on a broken surface, not a smooth surface, but on a broken surface, there's almost traction to this tire. This tire is terrible on the side hill. Terrible. Despite the overwhelming thickness of the sidewall, it just absolutely it just rolls over. It absolutely just rolls over. And the Swamper generally fails because it doesn't have that shoulder strength. We've got big lugs at the shoulder. It just doesn't help. The range, again. Okay, so I hit that like mid-throttle. That was about 40% throttle. Because, what the hell cat is that? Who are you? I don't recognize that cat. We got a random summer cat here, just staring at me. I don't know you. So with that moderate amount of throttle, right up. We need to remember this for the future because that goes into that dissimilar surface off-road score. Now, if we do this the way the test intends, we're not getting anywhere. Lug noise aplenty. Then, but right here, but certainly not enough. Get it? What? Get it? Nope, that's not good. Use your stability, my friend. Again, we could sit here and do the hop. We could do the hop move forever. But if we roll in with that mid throttle, I guess we've got a 40% throttle tire. They hadn't fed the learning engine the information. Oh no! They need to go slow. They need to go real slow, because the 1901 and the 1902 are basically drift tires, and the 1903. We've gotten down to where we can use about 40% throttle and get something approaching performance out of it. That little move right there, that's a pumpkin sticker right there. Okay, that little move right there, well, he's landed upside down a lot, is the only thing that stopped this tire from getting a 7.5 right there. This is not going to be a good score. As a matter of fact, there's so much variance in the scoring that I can't even try to do a quick guess. Let's put it this way. It's got a 5, a 6, a 7, and an 8. We're all over the place. Have enough? Have enough? Not enough to pull the slider. I mean, I don't count. I hit the back of the trigger on that one. 100% throttle through an obstacle. I mean, you know, I guess it's a strat. Yeah, I need to be on the screen where I can see percentages. It might actually be higher than 40% that we're inputting to swing it around. It's the real low, the low speed, just... Yeah, it's about 40%. I think I glanced down there for a moment and saw like a 38. So instead of a Super Swamper, much how, in the vein of how the J Concepts Bounty Hunter just looks like an LT radial, but punches way above its weight, this thing looks like a proper Swamper, but behaves like what we would imagine an LT radial would being put into the same situation. It's got big lug, it's got big side lug. I don't feel any of it really. And when it goes, it gone. Everybody's favorite dead limit. We get to do three things at once. You will notice I am hitting things with more speed because these simply below, honestly, I would say below 30% throttle, you're not getting forward drive out of it. Oh, that was close. That was a very nearly on the soft side here. A little more. Cut it back. Push it up. Nope. Nope. No, sir. There's just not enough. There's not enough drive. That's a situation there on the soft side, which it's not soft because it's easier than the other side. It's soft because you have to take it with less gusto. And this tire can't. At that 40-ish percent, still, I mean, we can't let one aspect does not a great tire make, but like if we full blast it, that's a good bump. In terms of swampery things, that's a really good bump. That tire is going to get in the 9s on that bump because you see there's no loss. We don't fall back. It holds it. It's also super straight, super predictable. Ho! Again. I said it's got big, not just prominent side lug, it's got luggity glug. Forward hit. Not a 10 out of 10 on that forward push, but good. The wheels to the sky reverto is that, so we steer up, we hit reverse, bam. That's absolutely solid. We tested 3 aspects here. I've got to write them down. So Daphne's third, yes, right there. Self-right, honestly, that's like a 9.4 on that. On the bump, I'm gonna go same. I could be convinced to give that bump a 9.5, but like that, solid. A little bit better on the forward, the juice on the goose, and we're even higher. And if assumptions are being made, this is where I think a tire like this sings its song. Mashing about, irregular stuff. Again, that's not enough. One aspect is not a tire make. This is not enough to save this tire. Swampers, a lot of folks love the swamper lug shape of Swamper 5. That was so solid right off there. But I mean, it's somebody with a class 1 that's going to be looking at these tires, and this guys, this is not your tire. Oh, that was good though. We're definitely going to revisit forward drive, which is its second lowest score on the card, because it's a 40%er. You get into your spot and then you yeah, this is where it excels. Again, we've found another. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've located another. It's not a rock crawling tire. The AI at this point didn't know the difference between dirt and rocks. This is a tire for I don't know what. I don't know what this is for. What is that? Is it a HPI? Is it a Kyosho? The little 2-wheel drive has like a late like a 1950s Ford body on that. This would be the tire for that. It's firm. It grips really Like, not giving it excuses. It does really well on this type of stuff. Transferring surface right here. Don't let me down. I mean, there's that glimmer. And again, we swing right back around to. That's what makes that tire the worst. Now again, I'm not saying we're gonna see anything that's gonna change this tire score to anything resembling good. Yeah, okay, I think I might see it. Okay, we gotta... yeah, yeah. That was like 45% throttle. That's sort of a unique thing, really. There's not a lot of tires that can do that. Usually, most tires that are more crawling specific, they don't have that top end capability. They get out of shape, they get all wibbly wobbly. This guy is like, nah, burn it, bro. Now, yeah, I mean, because we have a burn it, bro tire, he's kind of jostling back and forth. I wanted to give it a little bit of burn time. We'll give it about, oh, come on. Warm it up. Warm it up. All right. Okay, now. Trying to get that little traction action on it. Catch that front corner. Catch it. Nope. No front corner to be caught. But that does definitely elevate. Oh, I set my hat down and now it's got ants on it. Oh. Myrmecophobia. I said I wouldn't remember it, but I did. There's a callback. For those who are here for all the things, there's a callback. This is, okay, speculation. Near immediate speculation. I don't see a huge drop in performance on the wet compared to the dry because the dry's not. Get them wetted down. Okay, overall forward drive is not really negatively impacted that much, but positionability is gone. Like laterally, there's no traction left. None. How about in that? Look at you. Look at you. That's a good drop. Well, now we're just getting rowdy. Okay. I need to get him back up though. All right, take the bypass. Take the bypass. We just need to get you up there. Okay, the wetter they get, the worse they're getting. We might have had, what we might have had was just a glimmer of hope. Get it up there. Yeah, if we're going by rock crawling evaluation, getting worse. Compared to any and all other rock crawling tires, and that is an important distinction, one might be considering these are terrible. 89.1. That's also a radio station. Locally, 89.1 is like is like soft, like Kenny G stuff. Yeah, this is tire. You know, in my mind and estimation, this tire is kind of that Kenny G stuff. It's an 89.1. What did we get in total differential? 4.4. Received a 9.4 for self-righting and a 5.0 for side hilling, because the side hilling is ghastly. They just slide to the side. We basically did a score flip. Originally had a dismal 6.3 on slick rock for forward drive. Flip that to a 7.5 and put the 6.3 on the wet, because in the midst of the test we found out that you have to give it like 40 to 50% throttle, which pretty much makes it not a rock crawling tire. And also, unless you are someone that, like, I can't remember. Is it a Kyosho? Is Kyosho Rampage, is that a thing? Is that the thing I'm thinking of? It's like silver, it looks like an old-timey pickup. I could see this tire on that, and I'm pretty sure that truck comes fitted with like a class 1 size tire. But other than that, I can't think of a single application for this tire. If you like a swamper, you've got 50 options. Is this the worst of the swampers? It might actually be. So the 1904 is a reasonable tire that comes OE on a bunch of vehicles. The 1905 is the only tire GMade has yet made that is like, I would buy that. That's a tire that I would buy. The 1903, it almost follows a perfect thing, except the AI had that hiccup at the 1902 because it got fed faulty information, I guess. So of the entire GMade line, and I think, my brain reels as we try to think, is there another GMade that still needs to be tested? I think there, as of this recording, I think there is still one that we haven't done yet. And God help us all. So, thank you for sticking through, you select, you very few, you loyal few. Thank you so much for sticking through it. So this one, we've gotten the GMade 1.9s out of the way. I just remembered it. It's the GMade 2202. The GMade 2202 remains to be tested. And my goodness, my golly, what horrors, what fresh horrors are we in for? Because the 2202 is just the 2.2 version of the 1902. I don't know. I haven't looked, and I don't want to look, because I just now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, cats and kittens, I just made that correlation right now. 1902, 1.9, number 02. Please, please, infinite beings of the forever lands, don't make there be a 2201, 2203. Just don't do that to me. I might have to Google it to set my mind at ease. Anyway, 1903 in the books, 89.1, and it got there in a wild way. Don't buy these. If you have these, replace them with something else. Other advices for the day? In between now and when we meet again, please, one and all, do your very best to have a good one, everybody. Other than that, be good, use soap. Thanks for being. Come back again. See us again real soon. What a beautiful morning. It really is. It's going to be scorching hot today, but for right now, despite the fact that we got an 89.1, I rate this morning as solid.